the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
The K Street Transitway model is a first of its kind in DC, and it's not an overstatement to say that it will transform how our city thinks about public transportation.
And tonight on DC News Now at 5, a major money battle brewing over which transportation project to pay for in DC.
Officer James E. Armstrong, December 20th, 1919.
Honoring Fallen Heroes. We'll have a look at the newest memorial honoring police who have made the ultimate sacrifice for people in the district. Also, stretch your dollar. DC's tipped restaurant workers are getting a raise today. The new move could hike the price of what you pay on the menu. We'll have how you can still save even if the prices increase.
And even though we were past the heavy rainfall from this weekend, it wasn't the most ideal day out there. How much longer are these clouds and isolated showers going to stick around? We'll have your full forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Damon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Developing now at 5 officers responded to a shooting at a Southeast DC metro station. Metro Transit police say a man was shot in a bus bay at the Minnesota Avenue Metro Station. He was taken to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The bus service has been relocated, but the trains were not affected. It's unknown who shot him or why he was shot, but the investigation is ongoing, and we'll continue to update you both on air and online at dcnewsnow.com. But developing now, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is speaking out against plans to take money away from the K Street Transitway project in order to make buses free in D.C. That project would add dedicated bus lanes to a stretch of K Street in downtown D.C. DC News Now's Annalisa Gale joins us from K Street with a look at the project and the political battle lines being drawn. Good evening, Annalisa.
Good evening, Mark. Yeah, right now it's rush hour. I'm going to step out of the way here. You can see just how congested it is here along K Street as people make their way home and from work. Now, the future of the K Street project right now is in limbo.
You can count on me to oppose and oppose vigorously any downtown killers in this budget process.
Mayor Muriel Bowser spoke out against plans to put the K Street Transitway project on hold while prioritizing funding for free buses in the district in the budget.
What we're talking about is, again, having a dedicated bus lane that goes up and down K Street. What we're also talking about is to make sure that the businesses along K Street right now have access and their patrons have access to the curbside space.
While some council members like Brooke Pinto are standing with the mayor, others like Chairman Phil Mendelson say this.
What I've heard from the business community is that the last thing they want is to see the street in front of their businesses torn up for 2 years.
Some cyclists are also voicing concerns over the elimination of proposed bike lanes.
The mayor pledged to Vision Zero many years ago. We're less than a year out to her goal date of having close to zero traffic fatalities, and we are very far from that. And I don't think any project that prioritizes putting more cars on the streets is going to do that.
Now, Mark, DDOT says they plan on adding those bike lanes to L Street. Now, the council's first of 2 votes on this budget is scheduled for May 16th. If K Street does get the funding, the project would start next year, and it could take up to 3 years. Reporting live from K Street, Annalisa Gale, DC News Now.
Annalisa, thank you. DC News Now also asked the mayor about the increase in carjackings in the district. And with 2 times the amount of motor vehicle thefts reported so far this year, she says that she's been working with judges and other leaders to find solutions.
Those areas are informed by areas of carjacking concern as well. So none of us are satisfied, I can tell you that, with the amount of activity. I was with judges on Friday where we talked about accountability in our system. and we are hosting a summit among the professionals in the public safety ecosystem next week, where we will have a concentrated discussion around young people and how we are approaching them in our criminal justice system.
And there have been more than 2,000 motor vehicle thefts so far this year. Now, DC News Now also asked the mayor about how the city will enforce fines for speeding tickets. And she says the city is also working on a plan to tackle that issue.
We think we have to hold the people accountable for following the law. We have impaneled, under the city administrator's guidance, a committee that's really focused on fines, the collection of fines, and making sure they're both effective and just. And so that committee is going to deliver some recommendations to me.
Earlier this year, a vehicle with more than $12,000 in unpaid tickets was involved in a crash on Rock Creek Parkway. That crash killed 3 people and 2 others were taken to the hospital. Developing now, Montgomery County police are worried that there could be more victims out there of a cab driver they say raped a child. Now, this happened in Silver Spring back in January. Police say the victim called a cab, and within minutes, Orlana picked her up. The victim soon realized the friend she was supposed to meet wasn't going to be there, so she asked to be taken back home. But instead, police say Orlana took her to his home and raped her. He's facing charges of second-degree rape and sexual abuse of a minor. Police are urging any other victims to come forward. New video tonight, the damage in Virginia Beach that was caused by a tornado. The tornado was considered an EF3, which means that it had severe winds ranging from 136 to 165 miles per hour. Well, city officials declared a local state of emergency for today. Thankfully, there have been no injuries reported. The tornado happened just after 6 o'clock last night. Dominion Energy says that thousands of customers lost power from the storms, but most customers have since had their power restored. In Illinois, nearly 30 miles of Interstate 55 has been shut down after a massive dust storm led to several crashes. Illinois State Police say that the troopers were responding to several crashes as early as 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and they also have reported several fatalities, though the exact number is currently unknown. In a Facebook post, Springfield Firefighters Local 37 says that there was one crash with more than 20 cars involved. Police say that they are in the early stages of the investigation, with over 30 people transported to nearby hospitals. Well, taking a live look outside, where we had spotty showers this afternoon with highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Are we expecting rain tomorrow? Let's head over now to meteorologist Damon Matson with a check on the forecast. And Damon, what can we expect?
Well, Mark, I'll tell you what, it wasn't the most ideal start to the month of May, to say the least. You saw the view out there, gray and a little bit damp still from this weekend, and those showers that were moving through today as we continue to sit on the very edge of that storm system that had some impact over the weekend, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Look at this, wind speeds. They're out of the southwest, but they are breezy at 15 to 25 miles an hour. And don't let that wind direction fool you, folks. We have not been ushering in warmer air. As a matter of fact, it stayed fairly chilly today. D.C., southern Maryland, Fredericksburg, they're in the low 60s, but everybody else has been in the 50s, and it's even chillier still back across the higher terrain in western Maryland and West Virginia. And there's a good look, folks. Look at that storm system still just spinning around the Great Lakes and Canada with a lot of precipitation wrapped around it. Some of those showers have been pushing through the DMV. Plenty of clouds to go along with that as well. So it hasn't been a total washout today, but yes, we are still dealing with some rainfall, and that chance for isolated showers will continue through the rest of your evening. Plenty of clouds, chilly temperatures as well, but yeah, believe it or not, it's going to be even chillier in the mountains, and it's the first day of May. We have a winter weather advisory for Garrett County tonight, going into the morning on Tuesday up until 10 a.m. as a few inches of slushy snow could fall along the highest terrain. Now, how long does this winter weather threat last for the higher elevations, and when do we finally break free from the clouds and the showers? We'll have your full forecast in just a bit.
It is time. It is time, and when this term ends, it'll be my last years as an elected official. I will not seek re-election. Thank you, Marylanders. Thank you for giving me the opportunity in my life to represent you in the United States Senate.
Maryland Senator Ben Cardin has announced that he will be retiring at the end of his current term. Cardin has served in the Senate since 2007, but his time serving in Maryland dates back to 1968, when he was first elected to the House of Delegates. He served as a State House Speaker for several years before being elected to Congress in 1986. Cardin says that he will continue fighting for protecting the Chesapeake Bay and expanding health opportunities until his term ends. Cardin says that he's proud for what he has done for Marylanders over the years. Well, Maryland Governor Wes Moore issued a statement on Senator Cardin's retirement. We are so grateful for his sacrifice and dedication that has made Maryland a better home for everyone.